Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video. I am back again in Ark Survival Ascended and I am on a baryonyx in the ice cave. So this is where I am on the map. Now I'm going to make this into an episode as well as a bit of a guide. There's a reason I'm here, and if you've read the title you know the reason. I'm here to get the artifact of the strong. Now I have had a nosy about and we should be able now to fit a baryonyx or a few baryonyxes into this cave. So I'm a bit hot, so I'm going to change out some of my armor. You do want some fur armor. It does get right cold in here, but let's see if I can actually put a baryonyx through this cave. Now in Ark Survival Evolved, this was one of the most, well, it was hands down the most difficult cave. What made it difficult was initially, before the cryopods were released in the game, was the fact that you had a little crouch area where you had to crouch through, so you couldn't really bring anything with you. I did try in the past using Dimorphodons, but they don't really stand a chance with all the nasties in this particular cave. There are a lot of high-level, powerful nasties. When I did a bit of a nosy around here, I noticed that we don't have that crouch section anymore, which made me think and wonder if I can bring the baryonyxes here. Now, because of the level of creatures that we're going to be fighting and the type of creatures, I brought a few baryonyxes. Now, one thing to note about what you're going to see in this video, firstly, this is probably going to be a long video, and I'm not going to skip any sections. I might do a few edits and cuts here and there, and that'll be if I need to heal my baryonyxes and stuff like that. There's no point in including that into the video itself, but this cave is still fairly difficult. And I was going to say about the baryonyxes that I've got, these are bred. So a little backstory on the baryonyxes, just so you guys know what's going on. They are bred and they all have one mutation in damage, and these are going to become eventually, I'm hoping to build, I'm getting stuck here, I'm hoping to build a fully mutated baryonyx army. Now these things are really good for caving, generally speaking, here on the island, and that is something that I'm planning on doing. On top of that, I've got some food, but I've also got really good saddles on them. They are all Ascendant saddles, so if you don't have Ascendant saddles, then well, it'll be a bit difficult. Now, luckily, Wildcard have released cryopods at the moment of making this video. That's the newest thing that they've done, so you will be able to have cryopods with you. And I do suggest bringing a few spare baryonyxes, especially if you don't have good saddles on them, as well as if you haven't bred them. With these, I've combined the best stats on the baryonyxes that I've had to create the base parents that I'm going to be using for breeding for mutations. But as I said before, they also do have a first mutation in damage. And now I've also tried to get the mate boost going for me, because that is quite important. That does reduce the amount of damage that we take, but also increases the damage that we do. And as you can see, we're fighting some really nasty things here that do a lot of damage. But then, ooh, I don't know what happened there. I did not dismount there, by the way. That was not me. I more or less got knocked off my mount somehow. I don't know if the apes can do that. I definitely didn't get hit or tagged by a Perlovia, I'm pretty sure. So I didn't get the debuff, unless I got knocked off by a Perlovia but didn't get the debuff. Anyways, now one of the cool things about the baryonyx is that they heal quite quick when they kill fish, and this cave later on will have fish, which is something that we're going to be using. Okay, don't really want that blueprint. I guess I can use the arrows and the simple bullet. I'm not going to be looting all the drops here. I just want to have a quick look at what is going on here for damage that they've taken. Okay, they've done alright. I mean, it is a bit of a concern. I haven't really tested this out, but in my mind, from my knowledge and what I understand about this cave and what I've seen, they should be able to withstand. Now, the only one thing that I worry about is the Perlovia's knocking me off, and that is what the real threat is. Perlovia's knocking me off my mount and killing me, which I hope that doesn't happen. And if you've done any caves in Ark Survival Ascended, you will know that things do like to fall through the floor and into the walls, but mostly through the floor, so it's not as simple to spot where the Perlovias are. So I think I'm gonna have to send my Baryonyxes ahead. Whoop, hello. Look at this. This is so much bad stuff. Imagine that you had to do this without mount. This is what it used to be like. This is what this cave used to be like. We couldn't bring dinos in here until we had cryopods. And we had to fight all of these things, which are absolutely nasty. They do a decent amount of damage. They'll be mate boosted and the whole lot. So we've got the Yetis, we've got the bears, we've got the Perlovias. And they're all really high leveled. And so that means they've got a lot of damage on them, a lot of health, and they'll be mate boosted as well. So all the good stuff that you want to worry about. So this is normally the path that we would have taken down. Hello. And the Yeti pops out of the wall because, hey, this is Ark Survival Ascended. Why not? Oh, there's a Perlovia that, again, we didn't see. As you can see, things do pop out of the ground. So there is a bit of a visual glitch, as I've seen with the caves, where things will be clipped through the ground, so to speak, and they'll pop out. Now with the Perlovias, normally you should be able to see them. They do kind of camouflage under normal ground, but here, because we got ice and the Perlovia mount is black, they normally tend to be easy to spot, in which case I would have sent the Baryonyxes first to aggro the Perlovias. Let me just have a quick look around here. I am starting to get a bit heavy. We got these wolves that I'm not sure. Okay, they attacked. I don't think they were sure as to what they wanted to do. So with this cave, it's quite important. Don't rush it. Simple as that. Just do not rush this cave. Take your time. If, as I said, you don't have, like I do, bred Baryonyxes that have good levels and good saddles, bring a few then, so you can swap them out. Generally speaking, they should be fine. Later on in the cave, we will have fish that we can actually kill, which will, of course, help. I don't know why they ran that way. Okay, well, that's a thing. Uh-oh. Oh, right, I'm just going to follow my Baryonyxes. I feel safer being amongst my pack, so to speak. Oh man, there is so much bad stuff. And as you can see, one of them is already bloody. I think, and this is just a suspicion, I think the reason the Baryonyxes ran this way is because there were fish. I'm hoping. I'm not sure why they ran in this direction. They are not set to aggressive. They are set to attack my target though. Okay, let's go this way. So there we go. We've got plenty of fish. As you can see, they will attack the fish, which is good. If they are doing that, let them do it, because they are getting healed. So it's definitely worth letting them do that stuff. And of course, if they are being attacked by a bear, help them out. It is good to fight your stuff in the water if you can, because you can stun them, which buys you some time. Okay, let's grab some fish right there. They are pescivores and they do benefit from it as well. One of the cool things about this, and I'm not sure if this is something that they removed, but if you were to bring, say, mounts into this cave, they would take constant damage from the water, because apparently the water is that cold in this cave. As you can see, the Baryonyx doesn't really tend to suffer from that, although, there we go. So we're not taking damage whilst being in the water. Let me quickly get my bearings here, because I'm a bit confused as to where... Okay, I think I know where to go. Right, okay. Let me just make my way. Might as well grab some more fish if that is an option. Won't say no to it. Ah! Okay, did not see that one happen. Luckily, that Perlovia is stuck in my baryonyx. That kind of works out in my benefit there. And it appears to stun the baryonyx as well, which is interesting. Okay. Let me swap to my baryonyx. There you go. As you can see, they do like to chomp down on the fish, which is good. It's good. As you can see, they have healed quite nicely. And that is exactly what we want them to do. Let's see. Yeah, this is the path. Now, this is where you need to be really careful and take your time. It's in these narrow corridors where Perlovias can hide. And as I said, in Ark Survival Evolved, you could see the mounds because they are black. And black does contrast with white. But now, in Ark Survival Ascended, with the creatures glitching through the floor, you can't see the Perlovia mounts. So one way of doing this is by sending your other baryonyxes first, which will hopefully aggro the Perlovias and pull them out of the ground, and then you can just go and attack stuff and pray that there isn't one that you've missed that will dismount you, because yeah, there we go, you just saw the Yeti pop out of the ground randomly. It's a thing I wish wasn't available. Well, not available. Wasn't a thing. It's a thing that I wish isn't a thing in the game, but sadly it is what it is. So I'll just send these guys forward. Just having a look here at the options. Try and have these guys on follow. There we go. A bit of weirdness with regards to the camera. Okay. We got a bit of a slalom type of thing. So this section of the cave will again have fish in the water, so definitely worth using that to heal up your baryonyx. So as you can see, my green baryonyx is doing alright. It still has a bit of damage to it, but it's not that bad. And of course, over there we've got a drop, which you can loot if you want to. Okay, I'm just having a bit of a look around. Okay, so let me show you how to get to where you want to be from here. This is one of these sections that I did kind of get confused and ended up wandering aimlessly. So we want to get to our left side. Basically, that's the next path. You can see the crystals. We'll have to break through those crystals to get into the next section of the cave. And to do that, we basically have to go around. Okay. Now, the other thing we need to pay attention to is our wonderful baryonyxes. They can be a bit derpy, even with the wonderful AI's pathfinding. Sometimes I find it's buggier than I expect it to be. Let me just try and get back up here. I'm not going to bother with the drops at the moment. I might do it on the way out, but I want to get up here. Yep, that's the thing. That's fine. Let me try and mount one of these. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. 2 Perlovias. And none of them were visible. And I've taken a bit of damage here. Whoopsies. And now, as you can see, they do also knock back. We've got 3 Perlovias, which is really annoying. We need to be careful here. We don't want to get knocked off into a dangerous area. So I'm trying to reposition here. So that is something you will need to constantly adjust. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be knocked off an edge, which is a possibility here. Let's see what's going on here. Just going to run up this way, get this ape's attention. Try and kite him downwards. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I had a feeling that the baryonyx, or a baryonyx, would fall off the side. Very acceptable, that. Now, another thing you'll want to do is bring a few grapples with you. The end of the cave where the artifact is might potentially be a bit dodgy, especially if you're doing what I'm doing and using baryonyxes. There we go. Beautiful. So just make our way up this path. The berries should be fine with following us. There we go. And right here we've got these crystals that we'll need to break through. Okay. Again, be careful. Take your time. Don't rush it. You will need a pick as well, so The only way through this is by breaking the crystals. And obviously, because we're killing so many things, you'll find yourself in a situation where you'll have to get rid of meat all the time. I'm only keeping the fish meat because that is what benefits my creature. Okay. I'm glad that they fixed that crystal break sound. The one that was initially attributed to this I found right annoying. It was a very high pitch glass break type of sound, which I really didn't like. I'm glad that that's been addressed. I'm going to drop the pelt. I'd like to take some pelt back to base. I feel like that would be beneficial, but sadly my berries aren't really equipped to carry a lot of weight. Alright, we got another drop here, so that is another thing. So far I've seen quite a few drops in this cave. I'm not sure what and how good they are, to be fairly honest. Let's see. Okay, I know where we are, right? I'm going to try and turn back. I think I have aggroed them, but because there will be Perlovias there, I'm trying to hide behind my Baryonyxes and let them take the damage of the leap of the... that's a mouthful. But yeah, I want them to take the damage of the leap of the Perlovias. I don't want them knocking me off. There's a lot of bad stuff that we're going to be going up against, so I'm going to push my Baryonyxes forward. So for that I'm going to use the go to whistle command. There we go. Okay, as you can see there's a few Perlovias there. Yep. And yeah, the annoying thing is everything here does a bit of knockback. So we've got the bears, we've got the Perlovias, we've got the apes. The apes do a lot of knockback, by the way. Alright. There we go. So as long as my Baryonyxes go first and aggro the Perlovias and pull them out of their hidey holes, then I'm good with that. So far, so good. You can see my Baryonyx just flying from the SWAT of the Yetis. They do some really good knockback. And one key thing to keep in mind when you're using tames like a Baryonyx basically is make sure that what you have out does offer you the benefit of mate boost. It's quite important. It does reduce the incoming damage, Jesus, the incoming damage, as well as increase a bit of your damage that you're putting out, so that is kind of cool. Okay, so I know where we are. I'd say we're doing alright. Let me just check on these guys because they are looking a bit heavy. So I'm just going to clear out some of the stuff that we don't need. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of some of the meat. I'll keep the fish meat because, again, that is beneficial to the Baryonyx. Alright, drop that. Get rid of all this. Trying to get rid of it as quick as possible. Let me go and check the other one as well. Okay, you're doing alright for health. And we don't want any of this. Okay. I need to be careful not to waste the fish. So I am trying to get it done as quick as possible, but not be wasteful as well. As you can see, it has quite a bit of fish. I think everything from down here I can get rid of. You wouldn't think meat weighs so much, but it does. Right, let's crack on with the rest of the cave. Now remember when I tried to do this with grapples, that was the way forward. It was the simplest, but still very risky. This was one of the most difficult caves. It still is a difficult cave, but it's for sure not as difficult as it used to be. The fact that we can bring the Baryonyxes in does make a big difference. Whereas in the past, if you were going to do this legit, there was no chance of having Baryonyxes in here. Especially if we're going to do that before the introduction of cryopods. That's Let's send them forward. I can see a few mounds. There we go. I want them to pull the mounds out. I am worried about the potential of having Parlovias hidden in the ground here and potentially knocking me off. As you can see, there's a lot of bad stuff going on. So, oh boy. See, even this still has the potential for it to go wrong. I feel like I should have had another Baryonyx out, but I think, by my calculations, that it is still doable with what I have here. But maybe for future reference, I should probably bring 4 Baryonyxes instead of just 3. Okay, we've got another Yeti running towards us. Now, we are getting close to the artifact location. We still have a bit to go. There we go. So now we've got 2 ways of doing this. Well, if you're going to do this on ground, you can take the path up here and you can grapple yourself to the next section, but you'll still have to break some crystals and then go back into the ground. But it's up to you how you want to do it. I'm going to show you how to do this. I just want to get this guy to follow me. Come on. They are looking a bit bloody, so I might need to stop and heal these guys a bit. So you can go up this way and clear this path out. There will be most often a drop up here. Again, trying to come back down, bring everything back down here. Okay. I'm having a look at the berries' health. We're doing okay-ish. Yeah, I think there might be a Parlovia up there. Alright. I feel like I should stop and heal them a bit. Yeah, they're looking a bit bloody. Right, I'm going to risk it here and continue pushing forward just a bit more. But there is a good possibility that I'm going to have to stop at one point and give these guys some health. Now, there's 2 ways of doing this. You can wait it out and they will heal over time. Although this is quite slow, or you can force feed them the fish that you've gathered. As you can see, it is healing, but I mean, either way, we slice and dice this. On the way out, be prepared to fight. Even if we were to have done this right quick and without any breaks and pauses in our adventure into the cave, the simple fact is that the stuff that we cleared at the beginning of the cave will have respawned, so we'll still have to fight our way out. And again, it's not worth rushing this just because of the Parlovias, really. It's, yeah, like I said, they spawn inside the walls and in the ground, and they can catch you off guard, so definitely they're quite dangerous. They do a good amount of damage, and if you get caught off guard, dismounted, and then surrounded by a lot of nasties, you can be taken out quite quickly. So yeah, it's not worth the risk. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that you can do this. You can have waited out. I guess one of the things to say is be prepared to be patient and take your time and not rush it if you're going to do this cave. I'm going to go down the bottom path, but I want to show you what's up here as well. I'm just trying to figure out, there we go, send my berries there. I feel like there is a Parlovia. Yep, I was right. They are fighting something. Yep. We got a bit of knockback going on here. So let me show you what happens if you do come up this way. It'll bring you out here. You can see there's a drop there. And basically, right in front of me, you can see the caves in the far, the crystal in the far distance, and that's where we need to go. So basically, we need to go down here. Now you can use grapples to get there without fighting all these, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to fight my way there, and the reason behind that is I don't really want to find myself surrounded by a lot of bad things and in a potentially dangerous situation. So yeah, I'm going to take the low path. We're going to clear everything out. Oh, that caught me off guard, that one. And there goes my, oh boy. Alright, I need to mount something really quickly. There we go. That was a bit tense. Yeah, so it's for this reason you want to take it slow and take the low path, and just imagine getting to the crystals and then finding yourself surrounded by all the bad stuff that was down there, plus the hidden Perlovias. Not a good place to be. So I prefer to clear everything just for good measure. And as you can see, the levels are quite high. Okay. Let them eat. Let me see the situation of my armor. I should be fine. Okay, let me just quickly get on my baryonyx, because I've got the other ones following me. I could swap if I needed to, but I'm going to send them forward. Let them aggro stuff that might potentially be hidden. There we go. Okay. We want to go down this way, basically. There is that Yeti there, but I also worry about potentially having a Perlovia next to the Yeti. So, I do worry about him bomb rushing us. I'm not gonna lie. So, we'll just take that, see what happens. There we go, you saw the Perlovias pop out. And that is why we send our baryonyxes first. Oh boy. That knockback is nuts. Now it is good to go up there on that little thing that I showed you next to the drop, because you can actually get a good look around and see what there is. There is a bit of a worry with things being up on the ledges and potentially dropping down on you. So do be careful and be prepared, and I guess maybe having some medical brews would help. Okay, so I've done a bit of healing on my baryonyxes, which would probably mean I'll do a bit of a cut, just because it'll take a while, and there's no point in having that included. You guys know how to heal your carnivores, and that's exactly what happened. And let's push forward. Okay, that is the entrance into the next section right there. Again, as you can see, we've got some bad stuff ahead of us, and the path is blocked by crystals. So with that said, let's break these and create a path for my little baryonyx companions to make their way through. I think I got everything. Yeah, it looks like I've got everything, and I'll again send the baryonyxes first, just basically hopefully dislodge any Perlovias that are hidden in the ground. Wow, that's so many bad things. Okay, so this is the room that is just before the little uphill path that takes us to the artifact itself. So therefore, basically what I'm trying to say through that is that we're not very far. Look at all those Perlovias. Oh wow, that is so nuts. Imagine trying to do this with grapples. And obviously, if you do this with grapples and you get tagged by a Perlovia popping out of the ground, it will break the grapple, you will fall amongst all this nasty stuff and find yourself killed. So yeah, I think the best way to do this cave nowadays is of course with baryonyxes, especially seeing as the crouch section has been removed. It almost feels like the devs have kind of concluded that people will be using dinos for the scaves, so there's no point in having that little crouch section. Now, the crouch section might have served its purpose for the original game when it was initially out, to try and discourage people from bringing their dinos, but obviously Cryopod does make that change. Okay. I'm kind of happy with what I have here, and yeah, there we go. I was trying to figure out why I'm so heavy. I don't want the crystals and I don't want the stone. I mean, I do want it, but there's no point in having it. There's no point in being overweight by it right now. Okay. So this is a section that has a lot of hidden Perlovias. With that said, I'm going to send the baryonyxes in first. Let them do the thing. Don't think there's anything in that corner, but it is good to check. And you can see another drop there. Alright. Okay, so you can go and get that drop if you want. I'm just going to send them in this corner in the hopes of potentially dislodging anything that's hidden. Definitely Perlovias on that side. Let them do their own thing. I can see what looks like a Perlovia mound, so I don't really want to cross the water. I'm going to try and help from this edge right here. It is cool to have the baryonyxes, to be fairly honest. Oh, there we go. Yep. I was right. I was absolutely right. Oh, there's a bear coming. I'll tell you what, the baryonyxes have definitely pulled their weight in this cave. They are definitely the MVPs here. Oh, there's another Perlovia. Okay. So as you can see, the baryonyxes have now picked a fight with the fish. I'm going to let them do that, and the reason behind that is whilst they're doing that, they're actually healing. Whoa, hello. Yeah, so whilst they're picking fights with the saber-toothed salmon in these waters, they're actually healing, which is not bad at all. I want them to do that. But then that also does leave me a bit vulnerable. I do wonder though how many fish there are in this water. I remember that there used to be fish back in the first iteration of the game, so to speak. And it appears like the saber-toothed salmon might potentially be fighting back. And there we go. I think they're about finished. They'll be finished soon. Right, they're following. And as you can see, they've already done a good job getting themselves healed. So that is actually something you want them to do. Now, up this path, we will have some more things to fight. But there is a potential chance that they might fall off the edge. If they do fall off the edge, they will just fall into water. Now, normally speaking, with other dinos in the past, and I'm not sure if that is still a thing in this iteration of Ark, but if you fell into the water, you take constant tick damage. The baryonyxes do seem to be immune to it. I do think and worry that there might potentially be hidden Perlovias, but right past that wall in front of us, there's like a little path, and past or just around it is where the artifact is, so we were right next to it. I thought there would be Perlovias. There we go. I need to be careful here because there's like a path. It's like a little spiral type of cave chamber with a path around the wall and a drop into water in the center. So we don't want the baryonyxes going straight in there because they might fall into the center. If you haven't got cryopods, there's no chance of getting them out. Now, even if you have cryopods, you will have to take a dip and cryopod them and then grapple your way out. Grapples do work in the cave, or did used to work in the cave. I'm going to make a guess that they still do work in the cave. So if that happens, be prepared with a cryopod and some grapples to save your baryonyxes. Okay, got this right here. It's a good thing that my berries aren't fighting back. I'm kind of happy for that. I don't want them to get knocked. So you can see what I mean. There's a pool of water off the edge of that spiral-like path. I want the berries back here for now. I do want to edge forward and have a look around the corner. The reason for that is I do suspect that there might potentially be Purlovias hidden in the ground. And so I think the best way of proceeding within this cave is by always making the assumption that around every corner that there is a Purlovia. But I do want to take a peek ahead just to see what I have to deal with. Again, I'm feeling heavy, so let me get rid of some meat. Still have plenty of fish, that is good. Let me just quickly check these guys out. Oh yes, you are well heavy. Gonna have to drop some fur. Let's look at your meat situation. Look at all that. You wouldn't think it'd weigh that much, but apparently it does. Keep the fish on you because that is quite useful. I think you should be fine from here on. Now, let's have a look. Okay, so I see a mound, possibly two mounds. I'm going to have to figure a way out to get the Purlovias out. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to try and aggro the Yeti and hope that potentially aggroes the Purlovias. I don't think that is a thing. I can definitely see the Yeti coming towards me. So obviously that didn't work as I expected it, in which case we're going to have to send the baryonyxes forward and then be right behind them to help them with the Purlovias. Now remember, Purlovias do a bit of knockback, and I feel like there might potentially be two Purlovias. Let me see, I'm going to do this. Get them to move somewhere around here. Oh, that's it. Yep. I was right, there were two Purlovias there. We might be lucky here. Oh, nope, yep, one definitely got knocked off the edge, and this is what I meant. So there's a bit of a pool there. The only way out, if you do fall in, is with the use of a grapple, so definitely bring some grapples with you. And here we are. This is the Artifact of the Strong. This is how you do it. Still had its own challenges, but it has been significantly made easier with the fact that we can now bring creatures in this cave, and I feel like the devs do recognize that cryopods will open that ability, so for that reason there isn't that crouch section at the beginning of the cave. Now right there with that baryonyx, the way I would do it on official servers is I'd jump into the water with it, with a cryopod out, cryopod it, then grapple out. But I'm using a mod, so I'm going to do something, well, it's a similar thing, but just a different way with the use of a mod. Let's see if that works. There we go. Done. And from now on, just make your way out. Do bear in mind, you will have to fight some more creatures. So just as we proceeded in, we shall proceed out. The good thing about this is half the cave, I would guess, we don't have to fight it because it's been cleared out. So we'll just have to do the entrance end of the cave where things will have certainly respawned. And with that said, that is how you get the Artifact of the Strong. I do hope that you have enjoyed it and found it useful and informative. If you have, please don't forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. And of course, as always, until next time, stay safe, folks.